and welcome to the Quiet Bookworm Plays with Yarn podcast. I'm Hannah, and I'm a Jersey girl living in Liverpool. So, sorry, I feel like I can't get the video set up quite right today. I'm not working with the best of light qualities because it looks like a storm's coming in. And it's also probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But, we'll make do. So this is the Quiet Bookworm Plays with Yarn podcast. It's a podcast about knitting and any other crafty related things I am doing. Really have to work on my intro. I had it, but I've got to change it now because I'm no longer a student. What else? So in the down box will be links to Ravelry group, Instagram, and anything else that I talk about in this podcast. And first things first, just to remind everyone, there is a knit along that will be ending November 1st. And that is the knit along for the Sorceress Scarf. So please have a finished Sorceress Scarf, put it in the FO thread of the that's in the Ravelry group. And sorry for all the glare on my glasses. Not much I can do about that. But yeah, there's a chatter thread. So yeah, good luck with that. I feel a little bit off today because I almost forgot to do this, and I was like, oh, it's Monday. I need to do that. But yeah, so I've got 3 whips that I'm working on, and I do have some additions to the hoard. So let's jump in. I'll jump into talking about the Sorcerer's Scarf just because I was just talking about that for the knit along. I may have forgotten to move the marker. Not sure. But this is where I am. And I was somewhere around here-ish last week. I only put in about, I think, 5 rows, so about an inch of work on this. So, but yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a really nice herringbone stitch. And it's, ooh. Yeah. Woo. So the yarn that I am using, sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. The yarn that I am using is Fiber for the People. There you go. Fiber for the People. And it's their Lofty base, and it's the Gata Lava Moana Loa colorway, which is a really gorgeous red and orangey one with black speckles. And it is pooling. I'm not alternating skeins. I felt like that was going to be a bit too fiddly with the herringbone. So it is pooling, but I don't think it's pooling in a horrible way. Almost looks like lava flows, so I think it works. But yeah, I'm almost there, more than halfway done. So just have to keep plugging along. And that is just living in my Gryffindor bag from Primark. The next one that I'm working on is, was it in last episode? Yeah, it was in last week's episode. It is the Moon Dust Beanie from Pom Pom Quarterly's, I don't know which volume number it is. 26, I think? Issue 26. It's the Moon issue, so it's called Moon Dust. And let me turn this right side out. I forgot to put a marker on this one. I thought I was going to have it done, actually. I think that's why, but I got sidetracked. But it's got this really oh, if the lighting were better. Really nice little cable going down the front, and it's done in reverse stockinette because the well, you work on the wrong side so that the garter stitch sticks out, but it's worked in the round. But it's really, really pretty. It's really hard to see in this lighting, I'm sorry. But I am at where you start doing the decreases for the top of the hat, and so I'm pretty much almost finished. I could have had it finished. I just, I forgot my stitch markers when I went to knit night, and I reached that, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna set it down, and then I haven't picked it up since then. And that is living in my Down Sheepy Lane project bag. Oh, the yarn. Forgot to talk about the yarn. The yarn is some Deep Stash from, it's Wool and Vine yarns in the merino cashmere nylon base, which is, I think, called the Volca, and it's the Dead Calm colorway. So this will be counting for Hannah of Corner of Crafts Stash Miss Cal. So I think I will be throwing that in there with that. Going through this pretty quickly because I don't quite have a ton to talk about. And I want to try to get it done before I lose too much more light. The last work in project that, excuse me, and I've just got lipstick all over my hand now. That's just my day. I had a fiasco at the bank where the machine ate my card, and I had to go get it back, and ugh. It was not fun. Not fun when you're trying to get your money to pay your rent. Okay, that's off. So, the next project is living in this project bag, which I got at the Port Sunlight pop-up wool show. And I can't, for the life of me, remember what stall it was from. And, from the looks of it, it doesn't have a tag to tell me, which is really sad because I really like this bag. It's a good sized bag, and it's got like a nice, it's a plain lining, but it's a nice sturdy bag. But I don't know, I can't remember. I was really out of it that day when I went to Port Sunlight, so I don't really know what was going on. So in this bag is the beginning of a mitten. And I know it doesn't look like, oof, that was very emo of me. Go, all emo. I need a haircut. Is the beginning of a mitten. These are the Azurite mittens. And I know it doesn't look like one, but you knit the cuff flat and then you join it so that you get like a sideways rib. I just need to measure. I think I'm at the point where I can bind off, but I need to measure. I need to like pin them and then see if my boyfriend can fit them over his hands, because on the size that the pattern says, it's going to be about 7 inches in circumference, and his wrist is just about 7 inches. I've got really tiny wrists, so I can, like hands and wrists, so I can easily fit it on, but I want to make sure that they fit comfortably over his hand. So they're not necessarily for him, but the person they're for has the same about the same size hands. But I don't want it's supposed to be a Christmas present, so I don't want them to really know, that they probably have an idea that they're getting it, but who knows. I am deciding to do hand-knit Christmas presents this year, so gotta get cracking on that. I've got one done, 2 in the making. Have to start 3 more, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 more. I'm like math. How many people do I need to make 4? So the yarn that I am using for these is the Serdar Harap Tweed. Ugh, don't focus on my face. There we go. The Serdar Harap Tweed, which is a double knitting tweed, and it's 50 grams at 155 meters, and it's a 40% nylon, 30% wool, 24% acrylic, and 6% viscose. So yeah, I've got about 3 skeins of these, and I'm trying to figure out what to make for them. So I think gifted mittens is good. It is, most of the mitten is plain, but then at the very top there's some color work. So the contrasting color that I'm using will be the brown from my Winter Soul, which is, this is Rauma Phenol Garn, or Rauma PT2, Phenol PT2 now, from Rauma. And this was, I've got this left over from my Winter Soul pullover, so I'm trying to use some of it up. I'll probably end up using all of this, and then who knows if I'll actually need this, but it's in there. This is technically a 4-ply, and then if you hold it double, it technically sort of works up as either a double knit or a worsted. I think it will work. We'll see. If not, I'll figure something else out. So that is all that I'm working on. I've additions to the hoard because I had booked a yarn dyeing workshop ages ago at my local yarn store, which is Ovis Yarns. It's located in St. John's Market, and it was a really lovely day. So we got to do 4 mini skeins to learn some of the techniques, and then 1 big skein. See if I can get, like, let's see if YouTube will give this to me as my thumbnail. They always give me really weird thumbnails. I just have to choose the least weird one because I don't know how to make my own thumbnails. But, so, okay, so the mini skeins are a BFL silk, and then this one's just a BFL. And this was the first one I made. We were just kind of told to play around and figure out what it was. So I put like kind of a dark purple and a dark green and then like a gray color on the ends there. Came out much muddier than I thought it was going to, but hey. It's there's kind of a theme going on here, and this is not going to work out, so I'm not going to bother anyways. I'm pretty proud of how I've wound these mini skeins because they turned out well. Then, what was the second? This was the second one, and I think we were supposed to learn how to speckle, and I completely failed at that. This was supposed to be like a pumpkin-y orange with black speckles because it is almost Halloween and I was in a Halloween mood, but it just came out like this. Still quite fun, but not at all what I thought. I can't speckle for the life of me. I think I go a little bit overboard with the speckles because like I'll put a little bit, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll like hit it a little bit and I'll just kind of
not really go, and I'll be like, oh, that wasn't like, that's definitely not enough because there's almost nothing there. So I'll hit it, like tap we used a paintbrush and I'll tap it again, and then it just goes and then it's too much speckles. So I'm not good at speckling, but oh well. So that was the second one I made. And then this was the third one, which I used just one color and a spray bottle with. And I think out of the minis, this is the best. This is the one that came out the best. Let's see. Yeah. Just a very pale blue. And then this one was kind of, I forget what it was. I think it was just showing us how to do like half and half or something. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. But you would find out if you do a workshop with her. But I was trying to do like brown speckles, but I think my brown speckles broke, and so I ended up with with its components more than brown, and then some blue, and then dark gray on the, or not dark gray, but like a gray on the side. I am really losing the light here. Sorry about that. And then the last one, I just did a half and half. The last one was kind of like, it's our big skein, so you could do what you want using the techniques that you learned through the minis. So I did a half and half with like a solid with some speckles, and then, well, my splotches, let's put it that way, with splotches, and then just splotches on top of the plain white. So just try to show you this. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out, despite it not being what I was aiming for. But that just happens with yarn dyeing. So it was a lovely little workshop. I really enjoyed it. And so I think if you want to learn yarn dyeing, or she's got weaving and spinning and I think socks. She's got all sorts of workshops that she hosts and does. Some of them Becky herself teaches, like the yarn dyeing one, and then others she gets like a guest to come in and do it. And so there's all sorts of options. I still haven't figured out how to do this, by the way. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. I'm all tangled. Okay. So that was my additions to the hoard, and a little bit of talk story. So I guess I'll just go into talk story because there's nothing else to talk about in terms of knitting. So what have I done this week? I've done a lot. So I went climbing on Friday. I went climbing with John, and I used to do a lot of climbing when I was a kid. I really enjoyed it, but I've not been in a really long time. And so it was a lot of fun to go and redo that and learn just how out of shape I am. And then the next day we went walking in Wales. So we were going to try to do Snowdon, but we set out a little bit later than we wanted to because we stayed up. We ended up staying up really late talking to his parents because I ended up going over to his for dinner and meeting his parents, and I got the good old meet the parents interrogation, as you do. And so we stayed up quite late having really good conversations, and ended up with a late start going to Wales, and got stuck in, I think it was maybe 45 minutes to an hour of traffic. We were supposed to get to where we were aiming in Snowdonia by 12, and we didn't get there until like 1. So we weren't able to really do Snowdon, unfortunately. Also, Snowdon was, as usual, covered in clouds, whereas everywhere else was quite sunny and open. And so we were like, we'll just wander about in this area. So it was a lot of fun. I did some navigating, figuring out where I was on the map and all that. And just reminded myself just how out of shape I am. So we've got more climbing and more walking planned in the next couple weeks, which I am definitely looking forward to. But tonight I'm gonna knit and sit and be lazy. So, and my foot's falling asleep. I'm just a mess today. It's just gone everywhere. Oh well. It happens sometimes. But yeah, so just walking and climbing, chilling out, enjoying life is what I've been doing for the last week, as well as applying to jobs. Yeah, that's taking up a good chunk of my life at the moment. Hopefully I'll get some interviews. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, I think that's it for today. I've rambled on quite a bit about not important things, and yeah, so happy knitting. Enjoy your weekend, your week, whatever time you're watching this at.